Freedom. It is not just an idea, but it is a routine that needs to be practiced amongst its peoples and governments. And throughout the late 20th century to the early 21st century, two countries have risen up in the world to give as much freedom to its peoples as it possibly can. Two amazingly powerful and most importantly respected countries that have allies from all over the world and being liked by many. Hey everybody, what's going on? Dave Walpa here, and welcome back to FTD Facts, a channel where we talk about people, cultures, and places from all around the world. And today we're doing another one of our Which Country is Better video. Now, just to let you guys know, here on the channel we don't actually have a firm belief of which country is better, because here on FTD Facts we have done so many different videos about different countries. For example, this video is based off of our Canada videos and our Germany videos, which you guys should check out as well, because we discover what is so great about each country, and we've learned that each country has its own story. But however, for the fun of it, we do like to look at these countries and see what is different and also what is the same. Now, before we begin, this video is brought to you by Grammarly.com. I'm going to explain that a little bit more at the end of this video. And before I get in this video, I want to know, what is your favorite thing about your country? And if you guys are from this country, let me know down there in the comment section below. For my fellow Canadians out there, let me know. I want to know where you guys are from. Me, we're Toronto boys. Actually, Hamilton. Hoorah! So let's take a look at what both countries are, what they stand for, and what they do for themselves and for the rest of the world. Now, Germany, it might be a country that is not as big as Canada, but does it really need to be? Not really, because the country has a land size of 357,168 kilometers square, with a population of 82,175,700 people, ranking 16th in the world. And when it comes to this population, they have approximately 227 people per kilometer square. And when it comes to Canada's land size, it is huge. It is the second largest land size in the world for a country, coming in with a land size of 9,984,670 square kilometers, with a population of 35,151,728. It actually ranks 38th in the world when it comes to population. And as for its density of population, it is very small, with only 3.92 people per square kilometers. That's right, we're really stretched out, and as a matter of fact, most people in Canada live near the American border. But now let's take a look at actually the GDP of these countries. How much do these countries actually make? Well, Germany ranks 5th in the world with a total of $3.980 trillion, with a per capita of 41,902, ranking 17th in the world. Now, Canada, however, has $1.529 trillion in GDP, ranking 15th in the world, and oddly enough, its nominal GDP per capita, which is $40,409, which ranks 15th in the world, and I don't know how it actually beats Germany. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Now, when it comes to this GDP, the money comes from many different things, from jobs to imports and exports. And when it comes to Canadian money, it's called CAD, or Canadian currency, and actually a single dollar is called a loonie. That's crazy. As for Germany, they actually use the euro, and it's estimated at the time of this video that 1 Canadian dollar equals about 0.67 euros. However, just having GDP and population does not really give us a grand scheme of the differences between these two countries. We should probably look at the living costs and expenses. Now, according to Expatistan.com, which compares cities and countries, if you moved to Germany from Canada, the cost in Canada for living would be 12% higher than a person in Germany when it comes to food. As for housing, it's about 15% higher in Canada. Entertainment is about 16% higher in the country. However, transportation in Canada is about 8% lower than it is in Germany. And when it comes to the prices of clothes, it's about 19% lower than it is in Germany. However, that being said, personal care in Canada is 25% more than in Germany. And to give you an idea of how this kind of equates, when you say go out for dinner in Germany, it'll cost approximately 11 euros depending on where you go. Meanwhile, in Canada, the average amount is about $17. And for the housing in Germany, a 900-foot place in a normal area is about 1,051 euros, but in Canada, it's about $1,627 for the same thing. Now keep in mind guys, this is just a ballpark figure because in certain areas of the country there are certain cities that it's more expensive to live in. And when it comes to these particular cities in Canada, the most expensive places to live are Toronto, Vancouver, Mississauga, Calgary, and Ottawa. And in Germany, the top 5 most expensive places are Munich, Heidelberg, Frankfurt, Cologne, and Dusseldorf. Which reminds me guys, if we have anybody from those cities, let me know down there in the comments section below because, I'm curious what people pay for rent in those places, right? Now, we've talked about how much the living cost is, but let's keep in mind a lot of our money is based off of sometimes the debt of our countries. Now, according to the World Debt Clock at the time of releasing this video, Germany has approximately 2.1 trillion euros in debt, making each citizen of Germany owe approximately 25,000 euros for the debt. And when it comes to interest rates, this equals to about 49 billion a year for Germany, and for Canada, the national debt sits at 1.1 trillion, and each citizen's debt equals about $30,000, with interest rates equaling 27 billion. Now, to give you guys a good visual representation of how much that is, if you were to take all that money of each country and put it into single dollar forms and stack them on top of each other, Canada's national debt would equal 60,304 miles high and would make it 1/4 of the way to the moon, whereas Germany would be 168,247 miles high and would make it approximately 70% of the way to the moon. That is probably the craziest visual representation I've ever heard of in my life. That really makes me aware of how much debt is not just in Germany but within my own country. Yeah. Now let's jump over and talk about the military, because Canada has an available manpower of about 60 million people, where Germany has about 37 million. And out of these numbers, 13 million are fit for service in Canada, and 29.5 million are fit for service in Germany. And currently, Canada's active personnel sits roughly around 79,000 people, with Germany equaling 180,000 soldiers. Canada, however, has more soldiers in reserve, equaling about 32,000, and Germany has about 30,000. As for the defense budget of Canada, it sits at 15.5 billion, and Germany's sits at 39.2 billion. And surprisingly, guys, and unofficially, Canada has 414 aircraft, while Germany has 698. But however, all of this is completely useless. All these machines that the military has would be out of commission if they didn't have oil. And when it comes to oil, Canada actually produces 3.6 billion barrels a single day, with 171 billion barrels in reserve. Germany has 48,830 barrels produced a day, with about 100 billion in reserve. And when we're talking about oil, we should probably look at the imports and exports, because Canada exports a lot of crude petroleum. But when we talk about Germany, it exports $1.32 trillion in goods, being third in exports, but it also ranks third in imports, equaling $1.05 trillion in goods. Now, 11% of that is cars, with 4.3% being vehicle parts, and most of these vehicles are usually delivered a majority to China and the United Kingdom, but also the United States as well. Now, Canada is more of an importing country, with $399 billion in imports, ranking 9th in the world, and exporting $387 billion, putting it at 12th in the world. Now, when it comes to their exports, the biggest amount is actually cars and car parts, but about 10% of it, which is about the second biggest of all their imports, is crude petroleum, and about 98% of crude petroleum goes to the United States. Now, in terms of healthcare, Canada is considered a socialized system in which the money for the healthcare is gained from taxes from its citizens. Now, Germany works a little bit differently because it has what you like to call sickness funds. They're basically a form of health insurance, but for people who make under 50,000 euros a year, they are put into a public healthcare system, where pretty much everyone pays through a joint employer and employee system. And when it comes to the budgets of these countries, Germany spends about 11.3% of its GDP on its healthcare, and Canada spends about 10.8%. 83.3% of its GDP. However, the life expectancy of a Canadian citizen is approximately 83.8 years, and the life expectancy of a German citizen is 83.1 years. Now, we're going to talk about education, but to give you guys an idea of how they spend their money, we're going to equate this into US dollars in order for us to see how much they spend on a single student. In terms of education, according to the OECD, Germany spends approximately $8,546 per student on education, with math performances coming in at 514 and reading performances being 499. But Canada, in terms of US dollars, spends approximately $9,256 per student, with math equating to 520 points and reading equaling 514. Now, when it comes to the education system, they have some similarities, but they also have some differences. For example, in Canada, everything from high school and before is considered free education that is paid through the taxes, but when you go to university or colleges, that is paid out of your own pocket. However, keep in mind there is government grants and of course sponsorships that one can earn to help reduce the amount to pay for tuition fees. And unfortunately, when it comes to international students, sometimes they pay more than a student that's within the country. Now, going across the pond to Germany, believe it or not, when it comes to their tuition fees, no matter if they're in like grade school or they're in university, it's all considered free. And besides the different aspect of its universities being free compared to Canada, when it also comes to its international students, they get free education as well. So what do you think about Germany and Canada? Sure, there are many things that one country may have over the other, and there are many aspects of a country that we might have missed. Which reminds us, if there's anything that we missed in this video that you love about your country, please let us know down there in the comments section below. But my name is Dave Wapple, guys, and I hope you guys had a great time learning about two different amazing countries from all around the world. I'm always proud of my own country. Sure, Germany might have some other things that are better than us or what could be seen as better, but I'm still proud to be a Canadian, and I hope you guys are proud of being a German or being proud of the person you are and being proud from the country you're from. Also, guys, when it comes to this video, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to learning about many great things about these countries. As a matter of fact, if you're from Canada and you want to know more about it, we got some Canada videos. And if you're from Germany, we got some Germany videos for you guys to check out as well, or vice versa. If you guys want to learn about each other's country, that's amazing. But either way, before you guys get out of here, leave a recommendation for a future FTD Facts video because we love hearing from you guys. Also, keep in mind, this video has been brought to you by Grammarly.com. These guys are a really amazing sponsor. If you guys want to improve on your English, go download their software. It's totally free, and as you type emails, it will actually help improve your grammar. But these are the countries of Germany and Canada, two amazingly beautiful countries where its people and culture are constantly changing for the better and constantly updating themselves to keep themselves modern while still holding on to great traditions from hockey to beer fests to football and holidays. This is Germany and Canada, whom are strong allies and have a great understanding of one and another. For no matter how many countries and oceans separate us, it's our common interests that makes us the absolute same. Thanks for watching, guys. So here's the videos I was talking to you about. You want to learn about the military power of Canada? Boom, check that one out. How about some Germany facts? Well, here's a fact on Germany video right here. Other than that, guys, be sure to leave a recommendation, as I always said. And of course, share this video if you guys really enjoyed it. And other than that, don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, have a great day. Bye.